This week I'm going to tackle some milling. I'm out of 2x4s. I've only got a couple left in the greenhouse for projects, so I need to get some 2x4s made so I have them on hand. And while I'm at it with these logs, I'm going to finish up the carport face. I want to get a couple more boards up there just to bring down that opening, just to kind of keep wind from catching that roof as bad. I also want to see if I can get the gable of the woodshed covered up with that overlapping siding also. We still don't have very much snow, so we're not using the snow machines, and I can't really get out to go and gather logs, but I do have a pretty healthy stack here. They are a lot larger things that I typically wouldn't use for the 2x4s and offcuts, but I need them, so we're going to cut them. Let's see if this wants to start in the cold. So being I'm targeting 3 different things, that's going to determine how I'm going to mill these boards. First cuts are going to be cut off, thrown down below for firewood. Then the next cuts after those first cuts are going to be a little too narrow if I cut off the bark to be able to use for anything. So those will be ones that I just flat saw across, leave the live edge on, and those will go onto the carport. I don't need a ton of them, but I do gather them pretty quickly, so we'll be able to get those easily. After these live edge cuts are cut off and we're a little bit wider, I'll turn it up on end, cut off my off cuts again for firewood. And then we're going to be targeting the gable siding for the woodshed. So with those next cuts, I'm going to be cutting them at least 6 inches wide. 6 to 8 is preferred, and I'll be able to overlap those fine then. Once I get enough of those, I'll start targeting my 2x4s on other logs. The next cuts will be targeting the siding for the woodshed, so we'll be cutting them to at least 6 inches wide, 1 inch thick, preferably up to about 8 inches, and then we'll be able to overlap those, getting those hung. And then my sawmill does only cut down to 1.5 inches, so I do leave a 2-inch bottom, so we will get a couple dimensional lumber boards out of it. Depending on the log will depend on what we get, if it'll be a 2x4, 2 2x4s, or 2x6. Looks like we had some fog roll in, but we're gonna keep on moving. I've already changed my mind after just doing one log. So instead of targeting 2x4s, these logs are bigger, so I'm going to actually keep them as beams. So I'm going to keep doing the flat saw, get my live edge cuts for the carport, and I'm going to do the squared up 1-inch boards for my siding on the woodshed. But beyond that, if I can get a nice 8x8 or 6x6 or even a 4x6, I'm going to keep them that way because this summer's project, we're going to need a lot of those. So I'm going to start stocking those up and get them put into the solar kiln. Well, this is my first 8x8. That's 4 logs down. And only 16 more to go. Well, we made it through 7 logs. We're starting to lose our light, so I'm going to pack it up for tonight. We have 2 pretty good stacks to get going on the siding, so I think I'm going to start with that right away tomorrow, and then we'll decide if we have to mill any more after that.
Is that far enough over?
Yeah.
You don't cut it.
Okay. You're only doing them on the bottom, all the nails are coming up.
We do it on the top. Oh yeah, that's right. We'll get 2 pieces out of this one for sure. It's a little one. Just see how that fits. What? It's probably done.
Think so? Leave it like that?
I'm gonna go look what the other side looks like.
We put a peak piece.
Well, because we kept going.
I mean, that's like the same as these holes, so it's whatever.
Yeah, I see that. Whew. Done!
Cool.
That was so fast, too.
We put it off that long, it was that quick. I mean, it was one full day of milling.
I was gonna say, we put it off because we didn't have the boards.
Yeah.
We got the boards and it took us a half hour to put all that up.
Ah, nice and easy.
Yeah. Nice.
Maybe we could have cut angles to make it look nicer, but...
Nah, it's a woodshed. Okay, what's next? Carport?
Yeah.
Okay. Cut one edge straight, or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll do. Great. Okay.
There's
Pile of fish.
a dead rabbit holding my hose. Okay. I should get the multi-tool. I don't know where that is.
If I need to go up or down, you gotta tell me. 'Cause 4. I don't know if I want to do a 5th. It really, really shortens the head pipe getting in there. I like having plenty of extra room.
I mean, right there is basically even with that. I was gonna do one more, but that's fine. If you want
Okay.
that, I don't care.
Try to put the
Second one good?
second one and third one, try to put them up just a little bit. Yeah, that's good.
Third one?
Wait, drop it down just a little bit. Yeah, like right there, I think.
Oh, it's still heavy.
I'm sure. Okay. I think I have to drop down. Okay. And we finished off the carport. Not really. We're still gonna go back with the chainsaw and cut off just these little tail ends on either side. And there we go, it's all finished up. I think that's looking really nice. And then the last little board that Cody just put up on our little well house, it kind of it looks a little funny to us right now, but I think as that ages and kind of yellows out, it's gonna look a lot better. We have gotten kind of a good amount of questions about why we do the siding the way that we do them. Specifically, this really kind of open siding that doesn't overlap. It doesn't really actually block all of the rain and everything. So I figured I'd kind of talk about that a little bit since we did kind of do 2 of our types of sidings this week. Both of them we can see on the woodshed. So a really good example for why we would want there to be gaps and cracks in our siding is where we're storing our firewood, which is just on the other side of this wall. If you look close, maybe I can see it. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but you can kind of see our firewood sticking back through that crack. It's allowing airflow to come through, which is going to help dry out that wood. It won't kind of hold in the moisture or anything. It'll kind of just help that happen. It's going to allow a little bit of sunlight to come in and that airflow to come in to let that wood kind of stay dry. Now, yes, there could be little bits of rain or snow or something that might blow in, but it is so minimal that over the last 2 years, we've never actually noticed the rain coming in, the snow coming in, and being a problem. So for the siding on the woodshed, this is ideal. This is what we want. And as you can tell, when you look at our carport over there, the gaps are even like way bigger. So clearly we weren't concerned. We started off keeping them really tight together. It was no issue whatsoever. And that even on the carport, we decided it was fine to have even bigger gaps. Being that we're kind of out here in the middle of the woods, we really like this kind of rustic look, the live edge. It is super easy for us to kind of get a whole bunch of that milled and put up, really quick to go up. And it does use way less material than all of our other sidings that we've done. Up here, where very similar, they're both just 1x boards, but up here, all the live edge has been taken off, and down here, there's still quite a bit of live edge throughout. By taking that extra step, these boards all would have actually been way skinnier to get rid of that live edge, to not have it seen. And we don't mind the live edge, we like the look. Up in the loft, we're kind of storing things up there that we'd prefer not to get wet. So that's why we decided to do the extra step, use bigger boards and have them overlap a little bit. It's going to use a little bit more material. It's going to take us a little bit longer to gather the amount of wood that we need and to mill them to the sizes that we need. But it's going to give that effect of, hey, water's going to shed on the outside, but it's not going to actually get in. Whereas down here where we do this type of siding, we really don't care if just a little bit of water gets in. Another point that I kind of said with letting the light in for our woodshed now, it doesn't matter because we did recently just kind of run electricity to the woodshed. We can have lights in there now. Over here in our carport, we don't have electricity over there, and I'm not sure we ever will run it because it's a little bit further away from the house and there isn't going to be that need, I would say. I think we're going to have maybe 1 or 2 solar lights that we put in here, but for the time being, there's no reason to go through that effort. So by having these cracks and gaps in the walls, that's going to allow some light to be coming in. Even just now in the daytime, like it is kind of shadowed in there, but because we have these huge gaps, a lot of sunshine is able to come in and light up the inside of this space. And then also just besides that, these aren't overlapping. There's nothing to prevent us from being able to peel off one single board at a time if one of them gets ran into and it gets cracked, or if one is just really starting to rot for some reason, it wasn't a good board to begin with. Super, super easy to peel off that single board and replace it with another one. No problem whatsoever, because there's not boards kind of holding them all together. So I think that kind of briefly covers kind of our main reasonings for why we choose to do some of these open slotted siding. We like the look, super convenient, quick, easy, way less materials, way less time spent doing it, quick to put up, easy to replace. It allows light, it allows airflow. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head right now. It's been kind of fun experimenting with different types of sidings. We're learning more what we like, what we don't like. And really, honestly, all of them, we really like how they've been turning out so far. But it was nice to get a few of these little projects done around that kind of just doesn't take a lot of time to do them. And because of that, they keep getting just pushed to the side. So it's nice when we kind of just take a week every once in a while and just say, hey, we're going to get all these little tiny things done. Just get caught up a little bit on our to-do list. And it always feels really good at the end of that week. We're always wondering why we just didn't do it sooner.